Good day, everyone. Welcome to Module 1, Validating Feelings and Normalizing Reactions. And this is Mrs. Rica Grace R. Jimenez, your teacher for the day. Our objectives for this module include the following. First, identify feelings or reactions related to the pandemic or any form of disaster, and accept that all feelings and reactions are normal and valid. Small whiteboard and marker, or bond paper and marker if you don't have the whiteboard marker, sample graph of emotions, common reactions of students to stressful events, and a handout on when terrible things happen are needed as materials and handouts for this module. Hi, how are you feeling today? How has it been since the start of ECQ, MECQ, or GCQ? Classes are about to begin, but before we do that, let us first check how you are. So before we start, can you make sure that you have a paper with you, please? I want to ask, kamusta kayo? This is a strange crisis situation that we are all in. Don't you agree? So how are you? Are you feeling okay? Are you not okay? Were you not okay 3 months ago, but okay now? Can I ask you to identify 5 feelings or emotions that you have experienced during the past few months, or weeks, or days? I will give you time to think about it. Using the sheet of paper, can you create a graph or a pie chart of feelings or emotions that you have or may have had during all the crisis situations that you experienced? Here is an example. On the x-axis, write down each of the feelings or emotions. On the y-axis, write the numbers 25, 50, 75, and 100 to represent the percentage of time that you were feeling that way. Rate each emotion or feeling based on how much or how often you would feel that way over the past few months, weeks, or days. Now, if you are watching this video in my YouTube account, may I request you to please type down the 5 feelings that you have written on your paper. But if you are watching this in our Facebook group, please upload the photo of your graph. Then the others may comment by saying that they can relate to the picture. Let's say you have the same results or you have given the same score to a certain feeling. What were the feelings that were mentioned a lot? Write this down on your whiteboard or bond paper. What did you notice about your reactions to the different situations? Are these normal reactions to everything that you experienced? I would like to show you this table of common reactions of students to stressful events. Please read this silently with me and then tell me what you realize by writing your comments in the comment section below. It's good that you realized that these are normal reactions as of this time. I want you to realize that it is okay to not feel okay. At this point, allow me to share with you a document entitled When Terrible Things Happen. This is from the National Child Traumatic Stress Network, or NCTSN. I'd like you to read this because it can help you better identify your reactions, and it also gives you a list of behaviors that can help you cope and behaviors that you should try to avoid. There are a wide variety of positive and negative reactions that students can experience during and immediately after crisis situations. These depend on the different domains. For example, under cognitive domain, negative responses could be confusion, worry, or self-blame. But positive responses can be determination, courage, optimism, and faith. Meanwhile, on the emotional domain, negative responses could be shock, sorry, grief, sadness, fear, anger, numb, irritability, guilt, and shame. But positive responses could be feeling involved, challenged, and mobilized. On the other hand, for social domain, negative responses could be fights with others or does not speak with others. But positive responses could be seeks out others who can help them, helps others in need. While for physiological domain, some negative responses could be tired, headache, muscle tension, stomach ache, difficulty sleeping, and fast heartbeat. But positive responses can be alertness, readiness to respond, and increased energy. Some common negative reactions that may continue include: first, intrusive reactions. This can be distressing thoughts or images of the event while awake or dreaming, upsetting emotional or physical reactions to reminders of the experience, feeling like the experience is happening all over again or flashback. Avoid talking, thinking, and having feelings about the traumatic event. Avoid reminders of the event, such as places and people connected to what happened. Restricted emotions or feeling numb. Feelings of detachment and estrangement from others or social withdrawal. And loss of interest in usually pleasurable activities. The second one could be physical arousal reactions, such as constantly being on the lookout for danger, startling easily or being jumpy, or it can also be irritability or outbursts of anger or feeling on edge, or it can also be having difficulty falling or staying asleep, problems concentrating or paying attention. The third one could be reactions to trauma and loss reminders, such as reactions to places, people, sight, sounds, smells, and feelings that are reminders of the disaster. It can also be reminders that can bring on distressing mental images, thoughts, and emotional or physical reactions. It can also be common examples including sudden loud noises, sirens, locations where the disasters occurred, seeing people with disabilities, funerals, anniversaries of the disaster, and television or radio news about the disaster. The fourth one could be positive changes in priorities, worldview, and expectations, such as enhanced appreciation that family and friends are precious and important, meeting the challenge of addressing difficulties, like taking positive action steps, changing the focus of thoughts, using humor and acceptance, shifting expectations about what to expect from day to day and about what is considered a good day. Shifting priorities to focus more on quality time with family or friends, and increased commitment to self, family, friends, and spiritual or religious faith. The next one could be when a loved one dies. Common reactions include feeling confused, numbed, disbelief, bewildered, or lost, feeling angry at the person who died or at people considered responsible for the death. Strong physical reactions such as nausea, fatigue, shakiness, and muscle weakness. Feeling guilty for still being alive. Intense emotions such as extreme sadness, anger, or fear. It can also be increased risk for physical illness and injury, decreased productivity or difficulties making decisions. Or it can also be having thoughts about the person who died even when you don't want to. Longing, missing, and wanting to search for the person who died. Most of the time, children and adolescents are particularly likely to worry that they or a parent might die. And at the same time, they may become anxious when separated from caregivers or other loved ones. Doing these things might help, such as talking to another person for support or spending time with others. It can also be engaging in positive, distracting activities like sports, hobbies, or reading, getting adequate rest, and eating healthy meals. It can also be trying to maintain a normal schedule, scheduling pleasant activities, taking breaks, reminiscing about a loved one who has died, focusing on something practical that you can do right now to manage the situation better. It can also be using relaxation methods such as breathing exercises, meditation, calming self-talk, music. It can also be participating in a support group, exercising in moderation, keeping a journal, or seeking counseling. But what doesn't help? Please do not do this, such as using alcohol or drugs to cope, extreme withdrawal from family or friends, overeating or failing to eat, withdrawing from pleasant activities, working too much, violence or conflict, doing risky things such as driving recklessly, substance abuse, not taking adequate precautions. Do not also try extreme avoidance of thinking or talking about the event or a death of a loved one. Not taking care of yourself. Excessive watching of television shows or playing computer games, or if not cell phone games, and blaming others. Today, we learned that our reactions to the pandemic, to any stressful event or disaster are normal and valid. But how can you apply these learnings to your life, especially because the pandemic is not yet over? If you are watching using my YouTube account, you may type your answers in the comments section below. But if you are watching in our Facebook group, please type your answer in the same comment section where this video is posted. Thank you for your time and for listening. Have a great day ahead.